Welcome to the Prowler Podcast. Today we're thrilled to have my good friend I grew up playing football with, Christian Dowell, with us, and getting ready to dive into his college journey on his experience with high school recruiting. And he attended Christian Brothers High School in Memphis, Tennessee, right down the road from Briarcrest, where I went. And Christian brings a unique perspective to the table due to his loyalty of staying at UT-Martin for all 4 years and not hitting the portal, you know, and so, without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Christian, and he's going to introduce himself and share more about his background.
Like you said, my name is Christian Dowell. Yeah, I know Will and Preston for long time since me and Will was like in elementary school. So
Yep.
I grew up with them, know their families, been close to them. And like you said, yeah, I went to Christian Brothers High School, graduated in 2021. Right, I wouldn't say peak COVID, but it was
right there.
It was right there. I'm coming up my upcoming senior season at UT-Martin, so that's pretty exciting. Like I said, I've been here all 4 years, just grinding and working and trying to get this education and make it to the next level.
Oh yeah, that's all you can do, man. And so we're gonna get going here and ask you some questions, Christian, to inform these kids, about your experiences and everything. So, since coming into college, Christian, how has the recruiting world changed? Like due to the transfer portal being so wide open with no restrictions, like has it had any effect on you at UT-Martin? Has it affected you at all?
Yeah, it has. Like you see a bunch of people leave and the team brings in new people, and then like the people you once knew and the people that you once had chemistry with might up and leave and try to go somewhere else, and then they bring people in that either to compete with you against you for your spot, or people to play alongside you, on other parts of a D line, and you have to get used to them, build up chemistry with them. And while they get accustomed to different environments and try to help them get adjusted, so it's had an effect. Yep.
Go ahead, Will.
There you got it. You're good.
Just out of curiosity, Kristen, on average, do they bring in about one player off the D line every year due to the transfer portal now, or to compete, or what's that looking like now?
Okay, say it one more time. My bad. I guess connection messed up.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
So, like, with the transfer portal now, like you said, are you seeing about one player transfer in every year now to compete on that defensive line where you play, or
probably more than that?
It's based, well, from what I see, I guess it's based on like who you lose and like what you have. Yeah. So like if we lose, like, say that again.
I didn't say nothing.
Oh, my bad. So like it's based on who you lose and what's available. If you I would say maybe lose like 3 people, the coaches got to find people to replace those spots, and they got to look at who they have, and they also bring in people who can like push the people that they have to be better versions of themselves. So it varies about what's going on the team, I'd say.
Yeah, that makes sense because they got to fill the slots that are open, either through high school athletes or the transfer portal. I know Will's going to hit on this a little bit later, but what's been the main thing that's kept you at UT-Martin with all this adversity and stuff?
The main thing that's kept me at Martin, I say it's a plethora of things. I say one of the things is educating. I'm big on education, and they had Martin is one I'm trying to go to grad school to be a veterinarian, and Martin has one of the best pre-vet programs that I know. So that's one of the reasons I'm staying. I'm staying. I want to stay. It's also that I personally believe in the coaches and believe they have the best plan for me to help me reach my dreams of becoming an NFL player and getting my degree. So I have faith in my coaches, my peers, and it's close to family too, so it's not too bad. So they're close, and also the education aspect of things, being able to achieve my dreams of being a veterinarian as well, and also being able to be one step closer to being an NFL player.
Yeah. I mean, trusting your coaches, having faith in your coaches, that's big. All these players, that's the reason they go to these schools. It doesn't matter. Like you see kids like, I mean, I guess take Travis Hunter for example. He went and played for Dion. Instead of he was the number one player in the country, right? I mean, he went to Jackson State, and now look where he's at. I mean, it's really just about your relationship with coaches and like having trust in your coaches. But like you said, being close to home, that's also nice. Being close to Memphis, and there's a lot of different things. But I feel like a lot of these kids, they are starting to get money hungry, and they go to these schools and then they just leave whenever they want, like no restriction. But going back to high school, Christian, it wasn't really peak. I guess it was. It was like towards the back end of COVID.
Yeah, towards the back end.
It was all still kind of new, and there was still a bunch of like we couldn't even play each other our senior year because of COVID or whatever.
Yeah.
And and I guess what was the recruiting process for for you during COVID? I mean, I know how it was also, but it was hard because a lot of these coaches couldn't travel. They couldn't go, see you at the games. It was like a limited capacity at the game, like a certain amount of people can come in and everything. And how did it affect you in a way?
I hated COVID. It was horrible. I said the biggest thing was at first when we didn't know COVID was going to happen, the recruiting process was fun. It was smooth, talking to all the coaches, building relationships. And then boom, when COVID happened, no more camps.
Yep.
Coaches, they were still talking to you, but they were focused on other things.
Right.
And then when the players got an extra year back,
yep,
then they could keep their players.
It was like 2 senior classes, and it was like, wow, there's no spots for you.
Yeah, no spots. I feel like the only people at that time who were in our class or the class before us were if they already committed, they already had their spot,
right.
Yeah.
Right.
But me and you, people were losing offers. I know a bunch of people who lost offers.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Schools who were really interested, telling them, thank you, we appreciate you for being interested in us. But I got that call I'm glad you were interested in us, but we're not taking high school recruits now. We're gonna go look at the transfer portal, or we're gonna take guys back, work with them, So it was, and that causes, you as a high school student, going into college, causes you to think what am I gonna do? I know if no one's, I can't, get offered, I'm gonna have to walk on somewhere, I'm gonna have to come up with another plan. What can I do? So no, it was COVID really impacted, me and a bunch of other high school students with that.
See, I feel like, it kind of with COVID, you kind of, I definitely wasn't the only one, but I came up, I didn't really get my chance until senior year because I came up behind Jabari and Tyler and all them, and that senior class when I was a junior, there was over 20 kids that went and played college ball, and there was a bunch of kids. I think I know a lot of the seniors, they went and played college ball, and we had a bunch of seniors that year. But coming up, you didn't really get your chance until senior year, and then when you're out there and you're doing good, and it's you're not getting any recognition, and it just kind of sucked, and kind of it was hard to stay motivated in a way,
Mm-hmm.
But, like UT-Martin is a smaller D1 school, and do you think it's a bad idea, talking about the transfer portal, and a lot of these teams that, they're not recruiting at a high school, they're just hitting the portal hard. And if they are recruiting at a high school, they're big 5-star, 4-star, 3-stars, right? Obviously it's not a bad idea, but do you think it's a good idea to, go smaller to these JUCOs and lower level, D2, D3 schools, and then, developing there and then transferring out to a bigger school.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I know a lot of people who have had to take that route. I know a lot of people who had to take that route. No, there's nothing wrong with that. If you can't be able to go straight to the D1 level, you gotta take what you got, what God blessed you with. You gotta, be able to take that. So you gotta, I guess, make lemons in the lemonade. I don't want to sound corny or anything, but you go, you just gotta work hard, grind at that level that you're on, and you do good enough, get taped, and you enter the transfer portal and see what God has in store for you, and have faith, talk to your coaches, talk to them like, hey coach, I want to transfer, I want to, go somewhere, bigger and put my name out there. So yeah, no, that's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all.
See, that's where I think the transfer portal comes in good, You go smaller, develop. There's nothing. I think that's like the best idea, Go JUCO, hit the portal, develop there and see where it takes you.
Mm-hmm.
No, I totally agree with that, Smiley, and that's why I try to influence a lot of these athletes that I'm helping with nowadays because, it's different nowadays. Will got stuck in that pickle because he was pretty much promised a PWO at Ole Miss, but then it got taken away due to several returning athletes, and that's another issue. I hope that the NCAA put some restrictions around it because, heck, I just saw the other day there was a player at I can't remember where he is, but he has a 9th year of eligibility, and that's a 27-year-old kid that's about to play 17-year-olds. It's just that part of sports can't be allowed anymore. I get COVID give an extra year to some kids, but we can't just keep continuing that and let that trickle down. It's not the NFL. Yeah, I totally agree that players should be paid NIL money because you never know when your last play could be. Injuries come.
NIL is great. NIL is it has its pros and its cons.
Yeah, it has its pros and its cons. Yeah. Yeah.
So, but no, I saw that on 247 Sports the other day, and I put it on my Instagram page and my Twitter, and I was just like, how can this be allowed? A kid that's about to be 27 years old in his 9th year be granted another. I don't know. I don't know what NCAA was thinking on that one, but they granted it.
That's wild. I didn't even see anything about that. It's pretty wild. But Christian, what advice can you give an athlete in high school and like what to work on to to make them stand out, for exposure and stuff, and not only on the field but also in the classroom?
Classroom first, get them grades, man. Get them grades, man, because coaches and schools are not going to look at you if you have horrible or bad grades.
Yeah.
You need the grades first off. You're a student athlete. You're not an athlete student. You're a student athlete. Mm-hmm. So first off, get the grades and make sure school is number one. Make sure you excel in your classes and you do everything, build relationships with your teachers, do whatever you can to get the grades. Secondly, off the field, on the field, I'll say, you gotta find what makes you, that player and makes you stand out from everybody. You gotta work on I'm kind of a big power guy, so I worked on power, then a little finesse, show like I'm not just a one-sided player. I worked on my power, but then I also had to show that I can work, some moves. I can work pass rush moves, so that I'm a versatile player. So I say, know what your strengths are, but you also got to focus on your weaknesses.
Right.
And
work on your weaknesses,
Yeah, work on those and show that you're not just a one-sided pony, I guess you would say, but you can do multiple things. You can count on me to, make plays multiple ways, make plays using power, make plays using finesse moves, so.
Yeah, and the biggest part is definitely the classroom. Get your grades because these coaches, I want to know what they're doing with the ACT scores now. Are they still taking those or what? I know after COVID they like switched it around. Like you don't have to submit your ACT scores or whatever, right?
Yeah, I've heard something like that. I heard something
I
like
know they changed something
that.
about that, but I
Yeah,
mean, if you look at it, the NCAA, the minimum is like a 2.0. Like that's, or is it 2.5? Is it 2.0 or
I think
2.5?
it's a 2.5.
I think it's 2.5, but
Yeah,
the,
it was a 2.5 when I was in college. So I'm pretty sure they've kept that the same. But yeah, I haven't seen many coaches acknowledge ACT scores anymore.
yeah, that's ever since COVID, they switched that up. Like, I mean, I don't even think, I mean, for if you want scholarship, obviously you have to submit it and everything, but like I was applying for Ole Miss, like it said that I didn't have to and everything, like all these schools and like you don't have to submit your ACT or ACT. I'm like, huh, like, that's weird, but it's definitely when it starts in the classroom. You know, you get your grades and you know because when you get to college, I mean, you have to you're going from high school to college, and then you have to balance college ball and college classes. You know, it's a big difference. So.
But just like we were talking about earlier with the transfer portal and players transferring in to compete, if that coach knows you're slacking that classroom and he's got a spot open, you better believe he's gonna find someone that he can trust.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
If you slacking,
I feel like that's what a lot of these coaches want to do now. Like they see like the transfer portal. Why take a chance on somebody that's a risk versus someone that's proved himself? You know, I feel like that's what's changed the recruiting ground as well. But
I mean, a prime example is that is Kirby Smart. You see those players. I mean, yeah, he's got some off the field issues every now and then with drinking and driving lately. It's like DUI University over there, but
yeah.
it's you see
I mean,
these
it's college kids, you know, college.
yeah,
kids.
you see these players come in like Lyle McConkey and stuff that you never expected to be what they are. And heck, Lyle McConkey was just drafted round 2, first pick, you know, and nobody wanted to give him the chance, but Kirby knew he had the off the field ability and classwork to do what he had to do and gave him a shot. So it's
there's
kind
more
of
good. There's more good kids than bad, though. I mean,
yeah,
there's more
sure.
good than bad. But Smiley, talking about, you know, earlier we were talking about NIL deals, the pros and the cons. What are your thoughts in regards to NIL deals? What NIL deals do you have personally?
I have none. I have none.
You got none?
None, man. I wish I did. I wish I did, but no, I have none. But I say the NIL deal could be, you know, a blessing and a curse, you know, because, you know, college, I think, you know, we put our bodies on the line as well as pros, you know, and like, who to say that you're not at practice and, you know, you tear ACL, you have a freak accident, you're done, and, you know,
you're left with nothing at that point.
For nothing, you know, and then a lot of kids, you know, that I can say it helps kids because, like, you know, name, image, likeness. You know, you're using, you know, if we're using me, let's use me for example. You know, if you're using me, you know, to make money, and you're not, you know, giving me any money, you know, so like how is that fair? It's not fair, you know. And then, you know, the money helps kids to help their families, you know. But then I'll say, like, there's a point where, like, okay, that's a lot of money for an 18-year-old kid, you know, to have. Like, what can we, you know, what can you do? Because I feel like there's some kids who aren't in it like the love of football sometimes, you know, or a love of sports. They just see, oh man, I can make millions of dollars, you know, by being in college, you know, sometimes I feel like they can also push them to not want to go harder than
because it used to be
the next level.
It used to be, you know, you were going to play college ball to get to the NFL. Like you were working hard to make those millions, like later after college. But now it's like you can go to college and you can make millions right away. You know, like
you could just be a nobody, but just because I'm on that team, I'm just making bread.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I mean, do you feel it's changed like college football into like a miniature NFL in a way?
Yes. Because you got the transfer portal, trading for trades. Then you got NILs, you got the money, you got the game of football. So yeah, I'll say it's like a mini NFL. Yeah, most definitely.
Is UT-Martin in NCAA college football? The new one coming out?
I want to know myself. I don't think so. Why? I don't know.
No,
Top 25.
I heard they're going to be at an FCS like in a year or two after it comes out. So I think it's going to be another year or two for the FCS to get added to it.
Oh yeah, I thought. Yeah,
I think there's some FCS in there. I think. I don't know. But
it's going to be. They're going to add it later.
Of course, they might add it while I'm still here. What's it? I need that $600 in that free coffee. I need that $600.
I guess Jake will be in it now. We'll have Jake on there.
He'll be in it.
Yeah,
he's
fun.
Can I borrow that copy of NCAA 24? Hey man, I'm gonna need that. But it's different.
They came out today and said there's going to be different cover athletes for each conference, like each Power 5 conference, whatever. So it's not going to be the same cover athlete. They're all going to be different.
They're going to be.
I'm not sure. I guess it's $600 and just the free copy.
Free copy.
Free copy.
That's wild, man.
Yeah.
And like again, the NFL, Madden, like cover athletes and stuff like that. So that's different, but that's wild. But that's also good. It's also good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's definitely like NIL. It's definitely going to boost a lot of like the way NIL basically. It's going to boost these kids, these players NIL name, image, likeness, and it's going to be a good thing. I mean, it's going to be a great game, and it's going to boost these kids like views, So, Preston, got anything to add?
No, don't. No, on that one. Just I can't wait to see NCAA finally come back out because it's been a long time waiting, man. Long time waiting.
Was it like last one, NCAA 14?
It was 14. Yeah.
Yeah. That's back That's back when you were a little one.
That's when we were in. That was when we were in middle school. I played it. Remember John Worley? Smiley?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, I used to just play it at his house. I think that's the last time I played it. Like I used to go to Braxton's house. He lived right by Braxton.
Mm-hmm. I saw Braxton the other day. It was at B-Dubs. I saw him.
Braxton was at B-Dubs?
Yeah, I saw him at B-Dubs like a couple of weeks ago. I saw him and then Joey.
Joey who?
Yeah, Walls, I think. Yeah.
Walls, yeah, Joey Walls.
Yeah. So, it's good seeing all y'all, man.
Yeah. Well, just to touch on the transfer portal again, especially like, I mean, you're loyal for 4 years now. Like, especially like since you're one of the few, at the Division I level currently in the current environment that stay loyal to the university for your entire eligibility time. What are your thoughts on that? Like, what do you think?
Thoughts on me staying here or just thoughts
on the transfer portal, staying there, looking at everybody leave and stuff.
It's different, because like when you come out of high school, you're not used to people just leaving.
Mm-hmm.
You used to seeing people
with the same person every single day.
You see the same person every single day for 4 years straight. And then when you get to college, you're not expecting it, and then you're like, oh man, so-and-so entered the portal. You're like, oh snap. Oh, so-and-so else entered the portal. You're like, oh, so-and-so entered the portal. You're like, man, next you know, like 10 different people enter the portal, and you're like, oh, next you know, you see like 15 new people coming in next year. You're like, who are these people? Are they high schoolers? You're like, nah, man, I'm 25. I just came from so-and-so. You're like, good God, man. Like, okay.
What have your coaches like praised you for staying? Like, have they said anything to you about staying and being loyal? Or
they just
can you feel a different like level of respect in a way?
Yeah, I feel it because like I stayed there, and I guess because I've trusted them since I've been here. I trusted them since they've been recruiting me. I trusted them with everything, So I feel like mutual trust.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say, like, okay, you trust me. like you trust us enough to stay here all 4 years. You know, we trust you to handle your business on and off the field. So yeah, I feel like the level of trust is there. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Do you think it would have changed, Kristen, if if there was a coaching change, like a major coaching change come down? Do you think that would have made you want to leave then, or since you didn't have because look, prime example is Dion. He left Jackson State. Pretty much the whole school hit the portal that day.
Yeah.
So you got, if that happens, would you hit the portal and possibly follow your coaches to wherever they're going, or how would you approach that?
I'd say circumstance again, because you might have like some coaches to come in. All right, boom. We're not going to change anything up. I just want you to prove why you was in this position when the last coach was here. I want you to prove why you was in this position. I say no, that's not no. You don't need to leave unless you're scared of some competition. I say stay. Show your worth. But then you got the other side when another coach comes in and he bringing his boys and you don't get that fair opportunity like you once had. He comes in, boom, boom, boom. His guys are automatically starting. Then yeah, if something like that, then most definitely I wouldn't. I'm out.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to mess with that either.
Yeah, because I've been here grinding, and then you bring some new guys in and just automatically have them starting over me, and I've been here proving my worth. And you just gonna have some random people because you know them. I mean, you know them, you know what they bring, but you don't know. You don't know what I can bring. You're just coming in because I know them. And and you don't give me a fair opportunity, then yeah, I would leave.
I'd be out of there in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely got to feel a certain amount of respect, and a lot of coaches don't always carry that nowadays because they know what they can go put together in the transfer portal. Prime example is Lane Kiffin. I know Will thinks he's awesome and everything, but man. That man goes that portal every single year and hits it hard. Rebuilds a whole roster almost.
Place that we lose, baby.
He rebuilds the whole roster.
We just got that. We got a 4-star receiver, the number 2 receiver in Utah, or number 2 player in Utah, 4-star receiver. Like 6'3", 6'4". Dude's he's gonna be something serious. He's like 17 years old. 16 years old. He's young. I think he's like a junior right now, but dude's good. But Lane Kiffin can definitely recruit. Dude knows how to recruit for sure.
He knows
Pete Golding too. Pete Golding.
He knows how to recruit, but he sure does choke against Bama a lot.
Dude, all right. If that game was in Oxford, we would have won. If that game was in Oxford, we won that game. We would have won that game for sure.
I don't know. He might have got
in 2 seasons. Come on, in 2 seasons. It takes a while. It took Kirby a while. Remember what happened when Georgia came into?
Oh, I know. But hey, that's because Hugh Freeze got the Houdini over us. I don't know what it is. He almost beat us this year in Jordan Hare.
Man,
I want to be talking too loud. Them Bulldogs aren't. I don't know if they can last in Oxford this year.
Hey, they got Carson back. They got the number 1 quarterback, right, Smiley?
Carson.
Wow. Look, let me tell you, I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there.
Hey, you played against him last year, so you know what Carson Beck can do.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that game was. I don't want to get into that game. It was a fun game, great experience.
Hey, I will say this: y'all held on tight for a minute.
Yeah, it was what halftime was 0-17.
Yeah,
I feel like a lot of people did not have. I felt like a lot of people thought second half was gonna be like 50-0.
Yeah, what ended up being the score?
Hold on.
Wasn't it 50-21?
I think it was something like that. It was. I don't want to lie to y'all, man. No, it was 48-7.
48-7. Yeah, that's the number 1 team in the nation.
That's the number 1 team in the nation.
Yeah.
A lot of people probably thought they were going to put 70 on our head, but
correct. No, y'all. Hey, man, they were blowing my phone up because I'm a Georgia fan, lifelong, and
you're saying that we choke against Alabama. Look what y'all did. SEC championship game. gone.
Oh, I know. I was mad. I was mad because freaking Mike Bobo threw that one to the gutters. I don't know what he was thinking on that one. But all I know is when I went to Tuscaloosa to watch Lane Kiffin possibly beat Nick Saban
That
for the
was
first time. He
that
went for it on fourth down 6 times in a row and didn't get a single one of them.
That's Lane Kiffin. That wasn't even our best roster. Yeah, we had Matt Corral, but that was what was that? Was that freshman sophomore year?
That was
2020.
That was 2022. So freshman year.
That was my freshman year. Yeah, that we got better every single year since Kiffin's been here. So,
but yeah, no, talk about transfer portal. Yeah, Kiffin's he's a king of that. I guess he hires strippers. I don't know what he'd be doing down there.
All right, you can't be saying that, dude.
You can't be saying that, man.
You can't be saying
now.
Hey, you freeze
this podcast.
Hey,
look, man. You said what?
Dude,
you freeze did it.
You cannot be saying that, Preston.
Oh man.
But
oh God.
Oh man.
That's
you can't
funny.
be saying that,
You
dude.
can't be saying that.
All right. Well,
Listen.
I think you got choked up on one today.
dude, oh my Lord. All right, well, we'll wrap it up here. Thanks, Christian, for coming on and sharing your knowledge with these other athletes. And next week, we look forward to continuing to expand our awareness of our platform and look forward to partnering with those who are serious about playing their sport to the next level. And our weekly quote is, besides pride, loyalty, discipline, heart, and mind, confidence is the key to all of the locks.
What's so funny about that?
We still thinking about the strippers, man?
I can't. Yeah, dude, I can't. I was just thinking about it. I was just thinking about it. But
hey, as Pat McAfee always says, disclaimers: don't watch if you don't want to.
dude.
Oh man.
But no,
I cannot believe he said that.
Thank you, Christian, for sure for joining, man. It's been a good talk.
Yeah, it has, man.
You got any closing remarks for the high school athletes that watch this and take information away from it?
Besides the strippers, man, number one thing to take away from this is school, man. Take care of your grades. Be a great student on and off the field. And stay out of trouble, and keep your faith in God, and you keep working, keep up the hard work, and you'll make it, man.
No, that is for sure. And like Will said, we'll have Jake Golday on here next week. He's currently a linebacker at University of Cincinnati, and he'll dive deeper to his experiences. He actually just recently went through the transfer portal, so we'll get a lot of good information from that.
Jake,
look forward to that. So, Will you get any closing remarks?
Just Jake. I was just going to touch on Jake. Jake and Smiley and I, we all grew up playing football together, and all the way through. Well, he went to Arlington, you went to Christian Millers, I went to Briarcrest, so it was from those elementary, middle school, and then it's pretty cool to see him go from UCA to Central Arkansas to Cincinnati now, and dude, he's a freakish athlete. He's 6'6", an edge linebacker. You don't see that every day. You don't see that every single day.
Jake hit that girl spurt. I said, good Lord, man.
Yeah, that's a big boy.
You.
I mean, his brother Garrett, he was what, 6'10"?
6 something.
Yeah,
tall.
Something tall. All of them are tall. But we'll have Jake on next week, and we'll ask him, what his experiences were and how he got to where he is, and try to, inform these high school athletes like what they should be working towards, So as always, Prowler up, and we'll see you all next week.